Hello and welcome to March of War HQ. Today we will be playing a game of 30k Horus Heresy, where the forces of the Mechanicum will be taking on the Alpha Legion. Have I said 2,000 points?
You haven't said 2,000
I haven't said 2,000 points. I'm keeping this one. I'm not doing it again. Dead professional. 2,000 points. Here is my opponent, Hugo. Horus Hugo. And I'll tell you about the mission in a minute when we get to that bit. So you join us just as we've done deployment. The Alpha Legion have deployed first and are going first. And we're going to run through the armies. We have Phalanx, jumpy dudes, there. Yep. We have Thralls, little gribbly mind-slavey dudes, there. We have the Thanatar, hiding behind a building with his massive siege hammery thing. We have the Murder Ball of Death, which are Castellax. So it's got 5 Castellax and a really cool Archmagos model, which I really like. So that's the Archmagos on Abeyant, not Abominant, Abeyant. And he's got all sorts of rules and shenanigans with him to make him into a horrible murder boss. And then we've got some more of the jumpy dudes, some more of the jumpy dudes, some more of the jumpy dudes. So then over here on the Alpha Legion side, we have a squad of scouts with shotguns, a squad of the Leonid Terminators, a assault squad with 2 charnable swords and a power fist on the sergeant. We have a squad of seekers up in the building with the Kraken bolters. We have a squad of recon marines with the shotguns. We have 1 Contemptor Dreadnought with a fist and melter and additional melter. Under there, we have the special ones. Headhunter Kill Squads, that's the ones. The Headhunter Kill Team. They are with the Banestrike Bolters. And then round here, we have a recon team scattered through the building with Nemesis Bolters with the Exodus with them. We have another squad of scouts with sniper rifles. We have my command squad, which is in there somewhere. Where's the warlord gone? Oh, he's in the middle. He's hiding. So we've got my warlord, Centurion with Paragon Blade. We've got an apothecary in there with him. He's got his flag. And then he's got his chosen warriors with him, all kitted out with charnable weapons. Then pushed up the table a little bit, we've also got a squad of scouts with bolters and another squad of seekers with Kraken bolters. Now, normally, all of this would have been infiltrated all over the table, but all of your jumpy dudes, which is 1 lot there, 1 lot there, 1 lot at the back, which weren't influencing, but enough, and then another unit at this end, have Ginsight, which pushes my infiltrators back to 24 inches, which basically means I can't use any of these big buildings across the middle of the table, which is slightly frustrating. And because of that, my special ability to pick up 3 units and redeploy them didn't come into effect because I can't actually push out of my deployment zone because the Mechanicum are holding us back. Okay, so we're playing a bit of a custom mission here. So our objectives are going to be the big guns that are currently quiet and inactive. This city has been the scene of countless back and forth battles over the previous months, and at present the human militia have been pushed back out of their firing positions. The Mechanicum have come back to try and retake and reactivate this site to give the support needed for the forward lines, and the Alpha Legion have sent a bit of a strike force in to come and try and blow up these guns. So the way this is going to work is each of these guns is going to be used as the objective marker. They can be scored at the end of your turn, after not turn 1, can't score turn 1. From then on, each one's just worth 1 point. So if you're holding it, you get a point. If you're not holding it, you don't get a point. Any line unit can hold them, but any unit can deny. So then the other it will be that all of the terrain, all of the ruins are difficult terrain. And anywhere on the table where there is rubble, so any of these sections that are the rubble and the walls and the bits and the stuff are also difficult terrain. So the craters, the bomb sites, the blasts, they're all slowing you down. There are bits of open ground between, but this has been war-torn for some serious amount of time and is now getting to be quite a difficult bit of ground to get across. We're all deployed, and the Alpha Legion are going first, unless the Mechanicum can seize the initiative.
Ooh,
not on a tree.
tree.
Okay, so the Alpha Legion have done their Alpha Legion-y things, and we've done our movement phase. So this squad of Seekers have scaled up the building and pushed up to the next wall. Squad of Scouts pushing through the building, trying to get lines on the Thalax and the Thralls. The command squad have stayed put. The snipers have stayed put. The scouts on the top level bridge have stayed put. The headhunter team have shuffled forward a little bit, as have the shotgun team. They're both moving up, ready to jump on the central objective. This squad of Seekers have moved from the back. They were here. They've moved up onto there. The jump pack team, the assault squad, have gone straight across this open section. Because we've got some quite dense buildings, we've actually got quite a bit of protection. However, at any moment, giant murder bots could come ploughing through any of those walls. The Dreadnought has pushed up, trying to get line of sight on these Thalax that are in the building. Terminator's staying put, holding this back objective. This scout team have pushed up to the corner, not exposing themselves anymore. I think that is all of my movement phase stuff. So now we will do the shooting. So sneaky, stealthy fire explodes out across the lines of the Alpha Legion. I wouldn't say fairly ineffectual, but wasn't a lot of death. But the conversion beamer in the Leonay Terminators shot up and across into the squad of jumpy dudes that were hiding in this build. They just positioned in that building. They weren't hiding. They don't know how to hide. And we did a couple of wounds. The Melter then also shot into the same guys and finished one off. The Kraken Bolters on this squad of Seekers managed to rattle a few shots in through the windows and doors and plinked another wound off. The assault squad are on pistols, they're out of range. The shotgun squad are holding their position at the moment. The headhunter squad are only 18-inch range. The snipers up on the top, the sniper scouts, those brave young scouts, opened fire upon the thralls over there and killed a single thrall. Well done, guys. Nice work. That was some seriously amazing shooting, murdering 3-point models. The bullet was worth less than the dude. The Exodus and his squad shot across at the Thanatar and did one wound. One wound. The Exodus unfortunately failing to wound, which was a shame. Command squad were out of action at the moment. They're hiding. The Bolter squad of scouts rattled some shots across and plinked a wound off, and then the Kraken Bolt. Is that the one we didn't kill one, did we? You just did damage.
Feel no pains on that.
Oh, did he feel no pain? Everything away.
He felt no pain to everything.
Everything. He felt no pain, and the rest, of course, because only a couple of the guys could shoot because they were up against the wall. So one interaction that I will watch it is the barricades are being played as barricades. So if you are within 2 inches of a barricade, you're on a 5-up save. If it's just rounds coming across a barricade and you're distance behind it, it's a 6-up save for intervening cover. So just another interesting little bit of play. But other than that, the Mechanicum are largely unmolested as they lumber forwards for their turn 1. Okay, so here we are at the end of the Mechanicum movement phase. This unit of thralls have shuffled up, jumped up, very carefully manoeuvred between Thalax, not thralls.
Who's the thralls?
They're the thralls. The Thalax, not 3 points model, have manoeuvred themselves into a nice safe firing position. The thralls have stayed put, defending this first big gun. Then around here, the Thanatar has wiggled his way up around to draw a line of sight down this corridor to a collection of targets. The murder ball of Uber bot Doom has walked its way through this rather massive gateway, drawing lines down. There's targets up here, there's targets over here, many options. Then over here, this unit of Thalax have pushed up in the building, moving up to the walls. The unit down below, and is there 2 units there? Yes, two separate units. This unit have moved up to the walls and the barricades. This unit are pushing up the centre line, all keeping outside of 12 inches, so no activations on reactions. We've got a real long line of fire down there from Thanatar. And now we are on to the Mechanicums. Shoot. And the fire erupts across the lines from the Mechanicum. The command squad down there shot up at the squad that were there, the Seekers. They then used my once per game reaction to jump under there. This unit had jumped up to here, completely deleted this squad of scouts who were in front of them, and then jumped back under there. The thralls were out of range of everybody. Down here, the Thanatar shot up at the recon squad and the no longer Exodus. He's now mush. He's been Thanatar'd to death. Down this end, some fire fell in on the assault squad from this squad and that squad and that squad. This squad in the building had intended on getting range on the Dreadnought, but with the minus from my Alpha Legion, they couldn't make range on him, so they had to just delete more Assault Marines. Other than that, I think that was all of the shooting. Yep. So that is they passed their leadership check as well. So other than that, that is the end of turn 1. And we now go into Alpha Legion turn 2. So here we are at the end of the Alpha Legion's movement phase turn 2. The Leonet Terminators have stayed holding this objective at the back. This squad of scouts have pushed up this flank, coming round to try and surprise attack these phalanx that are holding down their rear objective. The Assault Marines have come up the middle, putting themselves fairly danger close into this unit, with some unfortunate side shots definitely going to come rattling in from here if they are still there in a minute. The recon squad with the shotguns have come busting through this wall, aiming to push onto the objective, and the murder ball of death command squad have reacted to them, pushing out through the wall. There's a couple more around that way. So the central objective is now contested. The headhunter squad in there, they've come pushing through the wall with a view to throwing some fire into the command squad. My command squad have come busting through from behind there onto the objective, trying to secure it. And around here, we went back and forth on this one, trying to work out where this squad of Seekers was going to be best optimised, and they can't reach anywhere because they don't have moved through cover, so they were stuck in all the deep terrain. So they've just shuffled sideways to draw a line of fire on this squad here. I think that is everybody. The scouts up on the top with the sniper rifles have stayed put. The recons with the sniper rifles have all stayed put. And we'll go and see if we can push some of these Mechanicum back. Right then, and so with a bit of fire from all sides, the shotguns over on these scouts, combined with the bolt pistols from the Assault Marines, managed to put a wound on the unit of Thalax in the building. The conversion beamer on the Terminators and the melter and the Gravis melter shot down into the command squad, started to chip wounds off of the Castellax, well reminded, thank you. This squad of Seekers sprayed a load of fire into the Castellax. The Headhunter squad, I can't even get to them, they're there. Wow, that's a weird angle. The Headhunter squad there shot in, and because they've got preferred enemy independent characters, and that has your warlord in it, we got to re-roll some additional bits and bobs. We managed to chip another wound off. One of the Castellax exploded, killing one of my shotguns on that recon team. Then some of these snipers shot in, shooting down that way, and managed to take out, with the combined fire from the multiple floors of recon marines, managed to pop another one, which rattled a bit more fire through the rest of them, doing one more wound to the next one. And then round this side, this squad of Seekers finally managed to take down one of the Thalax in the doorway. I think that was all of the shooting this phase. We're now on to some charges and some combat, and I shall come back to you after we've done some bits of that. So this squad of Seekers, having charged around the corner into these Thalax, managed to put a wound on one of the Thalax by punching them, and then the Thalax did one wound in return. So they are still locked up and engaged as a draw. Down to the other end, the unit of assault marines who pushed through the middle, lost 2, killed more. The Thalax made their leadership test, so they have stayed tied up, which might be a good thing for those last 3 assault marines, to be honest, because they could do with not being shot by all of the Thalax behind them. So at the end of the Alpha Legion turn 2, the Leonet Terminators have secured this big gun and are strapping explosives all over it. And then down here, the command squad have secured this weapon and are strapping explosives all over it. And so that's 2 points to the Alpha Legion at the end of their turn 2. Over to the Mechanicum. So during the movement phase, the Thanatar came stomping up the middle of the road, looking at my command squad back here. In response to that, the headhunters that were round under, I don't know, somewhere in there, down there, are now the other side of this big wall. Cowardly Alpha Legions. The first unit of Thalax jumped up to here, and in response, the Dreadnought went stomping through to go and get them. However, it may well have been an ambush, because a second unit of Thalax took some terrain tests, survived all of those, and jumped down, which leaves it... I can't even get to see him, there's so much in the way. There he is. So he's now a little bit surrounded by Thalax, so it might be a bad day to be a Contemptor Dreadnought. You did a bit of shuffling with your... thralls, didn't you? Getting them up against the walls and securing down that thing. These guys are still tied up in combat, as are the other unit at the other end. And at that, we shall drop into the shooting phase. So at the end of the Mechanicum shooting phase, this horrible goit wandered up the middle of the table, unloaded into my command squad, with 3 precision shots, killed the guy with the flag, the apothecary, and his mate, Dave. So, he's not Dave, he's Alfarius. So, he's horrible. And then some more shots rattled him from his Mauler bolt cannons, and killed a couple more. So, or one more. Did he put a wound on? One more wound on that guy. That was it. There's no shooting over that side. In the middle, the Murderbots of Doom shot into this squad of shotgun recon marines, and there is now 1 left. Round over here, the big squad of 5 shot into Dreadnought. Dreadnought returned fire and did 2 wounds. And then the second squad fired in. Between them, they managed to knock 3 wounds off the Dreadnought, so he's looking a bit poorly. And I believe that's all of your shooting done.
I believe that's my shooting.
Yeah. I passed my blind check.
Morale check there.
Morale check on that one, yes. And we're on to the combat phase. So I don't normally do dices and stuff on camera, and of course nothing interesting going to happen. So the unit of 4 declared a charge into the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought overwatched with its Gravis Melter with 2 shots and its normal Melter with 1 shot, hitting on 2s. Oh dear, never mind. Okay, so the Overwatch doesn't do anything. Let's just move swiftly on with... Down in this combat with the Seekers into the Thalax. The fact that the Seekers haven't got any weapons is not helping them as they kick and punch and manage to do another wound on the Thalax. And the Thalax managed to do a wound in return, killing another one. So they are staying tied up in combat. So in the centre down here, the charge from the Warlord and his murder bots tried to come in at this lone surviving Recon Marine. And because of his minus for being an Alpha Legion and the charge through cover and all the rest of it, they did not manage to make their charge. However, they have killed enough of them to push them off the objective, meaning that the murder bots score the centre objective. Round in this combat, the Thalax lost another model and the Marines lost another man, but it was... Lost 2 men. Mm-hmm. Did we lose 2 men? No, we only lost 1 this time. Yeah, lost 1 this time, and resulted in... Was it a draw? No, it wasn't. No. It was a me win, but you held. Yeah, you held with that one, so they're doing well. And then in the middle, the Dreadnought fight was fairly lucky for the Dreadnought because the Melter Bombs all missed, and we only got 1 wound through on them, and he punched a couple to death, and both units held on their leadership checks. So all in all, could have been a much more catastrophic event for everybody because we had a sudden moment of, it turns out this Dreadnought might actually just murder all of these bots. And then in return, the other flank did not fall. So at the end of the Mechanicum turn 2, this backline objective is contested. This centre objective is held by the Murderbot Ball, and over here the lowly toasters are holding on to the big gun. There is a unit pressuring here, however there's not much else coming through. This looks like it's going to take some doing to chew through these thralls on this side. They've got that locked down. So with the loss of the banner, the command unit lose their line and have fled into the cover of the building away from the Thanatar. The unit of recons with the heavy snipers, the Nemesis snipers, have come down off the building. Some of them made it there, some of them made it out. They are holding the middle objective at the moment. Don't know for how long. The snipers up on the top have held their ground, and they're looking at... There they are, focus over there. Some thralls on the other side. The unit of Headhunters has bust back through the wall again, eyeing up this command structure of the Mechanicum. This unit of Seekers are still holding the building. The Linnean Terminators have had a bit of a shuffle round to draw a line of fire down this alleyway. And then round the other side. This combat, they're all tied up, nobody's going anywhere. But this unit of 4 scouts have wandered through from behind this wall, coming to back up the assault squad here. And I believe that is the end of the Alpha Legion movement phase, and we are into a little bit of shooting. So with the scouts plunging fire down into the thralls at the far end, they only managed to kill 2, however they do manage to pin them, making them duck and weave for cover. The Banestrike Bolter kill team, Headhunter kill team, shot into the command squad, killing a bot which exploded. However, they returned fire and absolutely murderlated my Headhunters. So my Headhunters are dead, although we did at least take out another bot on our way through, so that was good. The conversion beamer shot into the back of the murder ball. However, they've got... So is it their protocols, are they called? the thing that stops their 1 damage a turn thing.
Oh, yes, a cybersurgic.
Cybersurgic thingy-mabobber
yeah.
means they ignore the first damage incoming, and being as it was 1 gun shooting in, it didn't do any damage. That is the end of the shooting phase for the Alpha Legion. We've got a little bit of combat coming up, bit of ongoing combat. No charges this turn.
It's really hard to fail.
Strike that. We have got a charge. The scouts came round to make the charge into the back of there. They basically need a fairly minimal charge. Don't roll a double 1. Where's my dice? We're all right on it. In an unfortunate turn of events, the Contemptor lost combat here, taking a few out as he went, but falling to the mass hordes of mechanized scummy robot things. This combat, despite having some reinforcements, is still ongoing. And then also over here in this combat, we ended up doing no wounds to them, and then they did no wounds to us. So this combat is also ongoing. So at the end of the Alpha Legion turn, we are scoring this one with my recon squad. We are scoring this one with the Linnean Terminators. The middle one we are not on. This fella over here is contested. And you've still got the thralls over there. So you don't score yours yet, but that gives me 2. So we are now, the Alpha Legion are up to 4 points to currently 2. 2?
Yes.
Yes, 4 to 2 at the moment. So we will go into the Mechanicum, turn 3. The Thanatar is continuing stomping up the main street. And as he moved into range of this team of recon marines, they have fallen back, repositioning within the building, trying to get a tactical advantage. The murder bots of doom pushed up, trying to get closer to this last lone remaining recon in the middle, and he repositioned backwards. Everybody else is either tied up in combat, or these guys have moved up to get some rear charges, and one of them jumped over on his own into that last little spot there, ready to charge the scouts in the back. And I think we're on to Mechanicum shooting. So at the end of the shooting phase, the massive Thanatar managed to delete another one of this unit. They managed to survive their pinning check, and not pinning check, their leadership check. The command squad in the middle, with literally the last bullet, managed to get him. He survived a huge amount of stuff with the aid of some shrouding. Where else did we shoot? Was that it? Was that all your shooting? That was all the shooting. That was all the shooting from the Mechanicum. So we're now round here for some charge. And then the stresses and strains of charging Alpha Legion. The guy at the back needed with a -2 for being Alpha Legion, made it with like a 10. However, this unit had a -4 because of Alpha Legion and cover, and it was causing Hugo some serious stress that he was going to fail it on a 5. But they made it on about an 8 or something, 7 or 8, yeah. So they were in. We're on to ongoing combat. This ongoing combat finally resolved with 2 dead Marines, and he turned and fled back towards his warlord. So that has freed that unit up to move away. And then up at the other end, the ongoing combat with the additional charges and things, the scouts managed to kill the one who had attacked them from behind. You managed to kill one of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then collectively we ended up with another draw. Did we, or did I end up with a win and you did leadership, didn't you?
To me,
that was it. Yes.
So I had to run away.
And you didn't run away because you held.
So
held. They were all still keen to stay involved in this fight. So at the end of the Mechanicum phase, the Mechanicum turn 3, they are holding the centre objective. They are technically holding the far one, but that unit is pinned, so isn't scoring. And we've got a contested one over on this flank. So they pick up 1 point for the centre objective, bringing the score to 4-3 to the Alpha Legion at the end of turn 3. And in the Alpha Legion movement phase, turn 4, the Leonie Terminators have a bit of a shuffle round just to maintain some line of fire on the Mechanicum command squad. This squad of Seekers are just stood where they are, getting ready to shoot. This squad of Scouts are still eyeing up targets over there. They can now see the Thalax, but they can also see Thralls, so we shall see which ones they want to do anything to. This unit of Recon Marines with the Nemesis Bolters are not making the most of their Nemesis Bolters because they're running in and out of cover, securing objectives. The lone Seeker who fell back rallied and moved up into cover. And then the command squad pushed up 5 inches, and your Phalanx responded by falling back. Did you do your dangerous terrain for them? You survived that one, so they survived their dangerous terrain checks, so that was nice, safe and easy. The sniper team of scouts up on the top, plunging more fire down into the thralls at the far side, managing to kill absolutely none of them. So that was unfortunate, scouts. They're definitely Marines in training for sure. They're not got their aim in. This unit of Seekers was a unit of 5, is now a unit of 3. They plunged some fire down into the command squad. Did a couple of wounds. Did they do a couple of wounds? No, was it? That was the thing.
No, the Beamer did nothing. It was them that did.
Oh no, they did a couple of wounds, but they got returned fire on and lost 2 guys for their. There's the focus. Lost 2 guys for their trouble. The conversion beamer shot down, hitting 3 of them. However, it all just bounced off of invuln saves. And this brings us back to the eternal battle that is raging in the middle. We'll go see how that goes. This is the fight that never ends down here. We lost a scout. We lost a normal assault marine with a charnable blade. So the Mechanicum thought they'd got this. So they hit us back. Well, that's when they hit us back. And then the Power Fist swung in at the end and did 2 wounds to the other unit, meaning we are back to a draw again. Contested forever. The Leonie Terminators keep this corner locked down. And on the opposite flank, the Recon Marines are scurrying from cover to cover, keeping this objective secured. We do not hold the centre. In fact, there is a murder ball of death on it. We do not hold this one, and the eternally contested is this one, meaning that at the end of Alpha Legion turn 4, we score another 2 points, putting us to 6 points to 3. Yes, because you're about to score some to bring you back to being 1 point behind or no points behind, depending on how you do. You scored
1 last turn. So
yes, 2, and you're at 3 at the moment. You're about to score again. Yes.
Yes.
Brain's not braining.
Yeah. So it goes to 6-5.
6. So at the moment 6-4, and it will go to 6 because you're not scoring now. You're about to score in your turn.
My turn, yeah.
Yes. We've got a thing, and we've resolved it.
Yes. 6-3 at the moment.
6-3 at the moment at the end of Alpha Legion turn 4. On to Mechanicum. The thralls are surging up off of the objective now, pushing it in on my command squad. Screening. The Thanatar has pushed up and has caused the recon squad to fall back. The scout unit are still looking slightly threatened by this Thanatar. This unit of Seekers pulled back away from the windows as the command squad did a little bit of shenanigan shuntery around, trying to get out of line of sight, just so they couldn't be shot at. And that is your movement phase. We're on to mechanic. The thralls that have moved up and the Phalanx at the back have rattled some fire through into the command squad, finishing off one of the wounded guys at the front and putting a wound onto this guy at the back. The Praetor is still unmolested. The warlord of the Mechanicum has done his... I keep wanting to call it cyberthurgy. It is cyberthurgy. Look at me knowing a thing. He's giving them the -1 incoming damage jobby and gives them a reaction. And we are once again onto the combat that will never end unless you're charging over the far side.
No.
Okay. We're on the combat that never ends. And on the eternal combat, the scouts managed to tear down the last wound on this Phalanx, and the sergeant managed to punch himself a wound on the other unit, resulting in 2 wounds caused by the Alpha Legion, and they made their leadership check, so we're still tied up in combat. And with the Thanatar having pushed this unit back, this is now no longer got any line units on it. This unit are holding back here and are scoring. this eternal battle is still ongoing and raging and is constantly contested. And the Murderbots of Doom are holding the centre objective, giving the Mechanicum 2 points this round, bringing the score to 5 to the Mechanicum, 6 to the Alpha Legion. So, the guys up here shot down into the command squad, plinking a wound. The conversion beamer long bombed it right the way down. I've just knocked the building off and killed everybody. Into the thralls and managed. I think we killed a thrall, didn't we? Yep. Single thrall. All the pistols and bits and a Kraken bolter shot into the thralls and killed a thrall. This squad of snipers here shot across into the warlord, and I think it all bounced. Or did it do a wound?
No,
they did a wound. These didn't do a wound. And so we are once again back to the combat that has. And at the end of the Alpha Legion Turn 5, the combat that never ends is still ongoing, and could become the pivotal point of this game. Down the other end, the command squad and the final Seeker have just gone straight through that squad of thralls and have pushed up onto the barricade line, ready to do nothing because it's the end of their turn, and it's now the thralls' turn to do something back. As we bring you to the last turn, which is Mechanicum, turn. The Thanatar in the shooting phase removed the last scout sniper from up on the top. He's out the way. The unit down in the middle shot up at the Seekers and managed to kill one. They returned fire, plinking the last wound off one of the robots, who then exploded and the armor saves were made. The Thalax over this side shot at the remaining Seeker in there, but he's still alive, made his saves. And we are back onto the combat that never ends. Well, we don't normally do many dice rolls on camera. This fight has just gone off, and the Alpha Legion have won by 1, which basically means you're on a leadership check. If you fail, you fall back, and you don't get to go onto the objective.
Well, I don't go onto the objective. Well, actually, I fall back towards my base edge.
Yes.
But I'm falling back, so I can't score.
Can't score, yeah.
And then you consolidate. Can you
consolidate? I can consolidate, yeah.
So here we go. I need a 7 or less.
He makes it. The fight that never ends is still never ending. So with the Mechanicum still having locked down the centre and managing to hold off this flank, they score 2 points, bringing us to 6 each, meaning that we're at a draw, and it's going to come down to kill points. And so at the end of adding up all the numbers and the maths and the things, the Alpha Legion have lost more units intactly, more points overallly, and more complete units. So, but only just on everything, basically. You'd only lost 3 complete units, whereas I'd lost 6. But the points differences were much closer than the numbers of units, because obviously 65-point squads of scouts die quick. But that was a really good game, really close. It was a Mechanicum win. I think that terrain makes it so tight and so hard work. In a good way.
Against ruddy Alpha Legion, yes.
Yeah, all the shenanigans and all the what's it. But then I think it came in quite a bit with yours as well, because you've got the jump packs and things, so the mobility helped. Careful, yeah, you've got to play them carefully. You can't just lob them around. Once you start chucking them, at least they're 3 wounds. Me and Sam found last time, lobbing jump packs up onto buildings, and suddenly 3 men out of a squad just fall over. Yeah. So, well, on that, we're finished. That was great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming down and playing, Hugo. Oh, the man, yes. So we've my assault sergeant there with the power fist has most definitely earned a bit of hatred Thalax. So we'll try and remember that next time he's trying to punch Thalax to death, that he definitely hates them a lot. Other than that, I've been James. This has been Hugo. Thank you very much for watching. Do all that like, share, subscribe malarkey, and I will catch you later. Take it easy, guys. Bye.